Yes, please.
Wonderful. Good evening and welcome everyone to Midweek Magic Club. We are so delighted to see you. Thank you for taking out the time to be here. I'm sure you're going to take away lots of wonderful things today. Now, today, the topic is very interesting. It's about discussion versus argument. And the speaker is Mr. Qamruddin, who is none other than the father of Mr. Shah's Kamar. I'm going to come back to this a little later. Before that, I thought I'll share a few things about Rapid Mile, which you by now, I'm sure, really know. But I know there's one thing you might not know, and that is that next week we are celebrating 1 year of Midweek Magic Club. So we are very excited, and we're going to have a lovely session next week also. But before that, 52 weeks of this informal session, which we as a team bring to you joyfully, and hopefully that you all take back stuff that you can implement in your lives. Golden Inspiration was the earlier name of Rapid Mile, and we have been in the business of the law of attraction, mind power, Jose Silva's course for the last 17 to 18 years. Earlier, of course, it used to be live, but then we went into a situation when we all had to stay at home. And it was a beautiful opportunity for us and for you to connect over virtual media like we do now. Now, we have a lovely little team which started off with Mr. Shah's Kamar, who is the director of Rapid Mile, um, myself, Dr. Anila Damodar, and also with Sanjeev, excuse me, our resident money magnet. You all know him also. We also then expanded to include Sri Balram Talreja, who you all are very familiar with, and also Niharika and Ongir, who are wonderful trainers of the law of attraction and also um, media. Now, media and marketing, sorry. Now, Mr. Qamruddin is a very senior speaker. He has spoken on so many stages, on so many topics, that it is very difficult to really put our finger on what he does best. But let me tell you, from my own personal experience, he's one of the finest motivational writers and speakers. He has, in fact, written 8 books which have been published. Apart from that, he's a wonderful table tennis player also and has represented India in the TT World Cup. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Qamruddin. Thank you so much for speaking to all of us. Can we all unmute ourselves and give him a nice, warm round of applause? Let over to you, sir.
वेलकम एवरीबॉडी थैंक यू डॉक्टर अनिला आप आए हैं दबे पांव भरी महफिल में जैसे गुलशन में बहारों के कदम आते हैं यू आर ऑल वेलकम टुडे आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट टॉक्स वी आर गोइंग टू स्पीक अबाउट स्पीकिंग वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट डिस्कशंस so these are different types of talks. Talking is very important part of life. So we should be very careful to properly monitor it, properly use it. While talking, we should make sure that we talk concisely, effectively, forcefully, and boldly. And whatever we speak, it should be true. It should be necessary. It should be useful for everybody. When talking is there, listening is also there. Listening is also very important. And it is even more important because when we talk, we repeat what we already know. But when we listen, we learn so many things. So there are different type of talks. You might have heard self-talk. That is affirmation. Affirmation is also very important. When you are feeling low, you can practice all these positive talks, self-talks. There is happiness alphabet. When you are feeling low, recite alphabet and make words in a positive manner. Just like for A for achievement, B for brilliant, C for confidence. This way you can recite words and recite letters and make words about that. You will feel very much happy in the end. So affirmation is very important. We must recite affirmations time to time to be positive. Some affirmations are very important. Just like day by day, in every way, through the grace of God, I am getting better and better. God is always a good God. He helps and guides us. Thank you, God. I woke up alive, active, and joyful. This is the day which God has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Another is TCFBTNU and EBBOM. This is short form. I have used this affirmation and a quotation in so many books of mine. Talk concisely, effectively, forcefully, and boldly. Whatever you speak, it should be true, it should be necessary, and it should be useful. Positive discussions are very important in life. We continue our conversation. We learn so many things during discussions. We get positive interactive learning through discussions. The purpose of discussions is to find out the facts. And when you arrive at the facts, you learn so many things, you become richer. So we try to find facts during discussions. But be careful. Find out what is correct, not who is correct. If you start finding out who is correct, it becomes an argument. Argument is never good. Argument never helps in any way. It creates acrimony, resentment, and purpose is to prove others wrong. So this creates a lot of resentment during discussions. You may lose argument, you may win argument. Argument is bad. Whether you win argument or you lose argument. If you win argument, you will make other person feel bad. And if you lose argument, you will feel bad. So argument is always to be avoided because it creates so many problems. So we should be indulging in positive discussions and we should avoid as much possible arguments. It never helps. So there are certain ways we can avoid arguments. Arguments never help, so we should never indulge in arguments. How you can avoid arguments? Here are some points. I'm telling you first in brief and then I will discuss in detail. Imagine yourself in his field. Find facts, gather knowledge, and learn a lot. Find common points, agree on those points, and if there are uncommon points, you should try to agree to differ on those points. Use humor to ease the situations. Be friendly and amiable. Be present in the moment, free from past and future references. Do not criticize, ask intelligent questions. Listen more, speak less. Consult others. What you speak is important, so you should apply filter. Good relationship is important. Try to win the hearts. Control anger and control the tone. So I'm going to discuss these points one by one. So Charles, yes. Now, imagine yourself in his feet. Find out his point of view. Respect his opinion. You may say, I understand how you feel in such a situation. I would be doing the same thing what you did. मैं भी शायद वही करता जो आप कर रहे हैं. तो हमारा बिहेवियर ऐसा होना चाहिए कि दूसरे को हम हर्ट न करें, और ये तब पॉसिबल है कि हम उसकी जगह अपने को रख करके सोचें. कभी भूल कर किसी से न करो सलूक ऐसा कि कोई और तुमसे करता तुम्हें नागवार होता. सो जो बिहेवियर इस तरह का होना चाहिए कि किसी को हम हर्ट न करें. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. जस्ट फाइंड द फैक्ट्स. Purpose should be to discuss amicably and find the facts. We should try to find the fact and we should help each other to arrive at the facts. When our concentration will be on the facts, we will not be arguing. So discuss to find the truth. Say, never say you are wrong. हो सकता है कि आप सही हो, चलो गूगल पे सर्च करते हैं, किसी से पता कर लेते हैं, लेकिन अननेसेसरी आर्गुमेंट में मत पड़िए. ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट इज करेक्ट, not who is correct. If you start discussing who is correct, then it becomes an argument. Find common points and agree to differ for uncommon points. When we start discussion, there are some points which are common. You agree on those points, but there are certain points on which you do not agree. These are uncommon points. So discuss those points which are common, and you should agree to differ on those points which are not common. So for those points which are not common, what you should do? Put it on the back burner and take it up later on when you have certain facts. If you cannot avoid argument and disagree as gently as possible. Your tone should be friendly. There are points on which you disagree and put them on the back burner and you take it off. I agree. You can say, I agree with your most of points, but I beg to differ on certain points. Let us agree to differ. We will discuss further after collecting more facts. For the time being, let us agree to differ. Use humor. Humor is very important. If you have sense of humor, atmosphere becomes very good. It eases the situation. Use jokes, funny remarks, but be very careful by using it. Use it wisely on yourself, but not on others. You should not mock others. You should not deride others. Your purpose should be to ease the situation. For that, you should put jokes on yourself and enjoy. If you make fun of others, what they will do? They will retaliate and atmosphere will be bad and discussion will convert into arguments. Be present in the moment. Life exists here, in this moment. You cannot live in past and future. But sometimes we are busy thinking about the past. In discussion also, we are referring past again and again. The purpose should be to be present in the moment. If you have to visit past, go for a very short period. Find out the points which creating guilt feeling or which are creating unnecessary resentments. Okay, go there. Visiting past is not a bad thing, but do not remain there. Come back immediately in the moment and start living life. Start discussing in a positive manner. And while discussing, you should also be clear that generally what happens, people say, आपकी ये आदत है, आप ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, आप ऐसे ही कहते रहते हैं. तो इस तरह का क्या होता है? दिस इज प्रेजेंट इंडेफिनिट. ऐसे वर्ड्स का इस्तेमाल करिए जिसमें आईएनजी इस्तेमाल होता है. प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूअस. देखिए एक्चुअली वो ऐसा कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है इस वक्त. तो इस वक्त अगर हम उसको कंटिन्यूअस में अगर बात करेंगे तो उसमें आर्गुमेंट्स के चांसेस बहुत कम रहेंगे. सो बी प्रेजेंट इन द मोमेंट and use ing words. Never say you behave like that, you always do so. आप कहते रहते हैं, आप कभी कुछ सुनते ही नहीं हैं. इस तरह के वर्ड्स और सेंटेंसेस को हमें अवॉइड करना चाहिए. और क्या होता है आर्गुमेंट में? जनरली हम अपने पॉइंट्स को एम्फसाइज करते रहते हैं और उससे क्या होता है कि उससे आर्गुमेंट्स बढ़ते जाते हैं. आप आईएनजी वर्ड्स को यूज करेंगे, एक्चुअली देखिए कि वो ऐसा कर रहे हैं इस वक्त या नहीं, और इसी हिसाब से अपना फर्दर कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन रखिए. यस, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. डोंट क्रिटिसाइज एनीबॉडी डायरेक्टली. इंस्टेड आस्क क्वेश्चंस. Never point out mistakes of others. Do not speak all the time. Let him speak. How? You can put some WH questions and the person, opponent will reply to you and you can continue positive discussions. So don't speak all the time. Listen attentively. Listen and let him speak. Put questions. Ask what is correct, not who is correct. If you ask what is correct, then you will try to find out the facts. And when you arrive at the facts, there is no question of argument. Shaz, please change the slide. Listen more, speak less, as I had said earlier. Give opportunity to the opponent to speak most of the time. Let him speak all the time. Time to time, inspire him to speak. Because when you speak, you will repeat what you already know. And when you listen to others, you will learn so many new things So it is win-win for both the persons involved in discussions. Please change the slide. Consult. Knowledge is very important. Unfortunately, there are so many sources of knowledge nowadays. You can consult Google, you can gather knowledge from internet, you can consult people. So there are so many sources. So you should have sufficient knowledge. Knowledge is fact, and fact reduces arguments and leads to discussion. Try to learn continuously from different sources. Watch informative movies and read a lot. You will have sufficient knowledge. You will have food for discussion, and you will not be indulging in the arguments. Please change. I have mentioned earlier, this is an important filter. Never use a word which hurts. And for that, filter is very important. I have explained earlier, talk concisely, effectively, forcefully, and boldly. True, necessary, useful. Engage your brain before opening your mouth. So, if you filter what you speak in this manner, you will not be speaking unnecessary words. And if you don't speak unnecessary words, there will be discussion, there will not be argument. Words hurt, spoil relationship. Therefore, it's very important that you use words very carefully. कई बार हम ऐसी बातें कह देते हैं कि वो जिंदगी भर परेशान करती हैं, ऐसा जख्म तैयार कर देती हैं कि हम उसको कभी भूल नहीं पाते। जख्म तलवार के गहरे भी हो मिट जाते हैं, लफ्ज सीने में उतर जाते हैं भाले की तरह। So it's very important that we should use words very carefully to avoid argument and to start discussing in a positive manner. Good relationship is very important. People try to win the argument. Why? Because they get instant pleasure for short time. But if you want to have wonderful life and wonderful relation, it is important that you should maintain it. Instead of winning argument, you should try to win the hearts of the people. And if you act in this manner, you will have wonderful relations. Emphasize good relations, kindness, respect, courtesy. These are more important than winning arguments. Please change the slide. Control anger and tone. While discussing anything, you might have noticed, if you are angry, situation becomes very bad. So be very careful to keep discussion amicable and friendly. Do not trigger your anger and do not trigger his anger. And even in spite of your best efforts, anger is there. Do not let it start. Nip it in the bud. So anger is very important to be eliminated. Try to resolve your anger fast. What is anger? It is just like a burning coal you are holding in your fingers. So if you're angry with somebody, what do? You hold anger like a burning coal to throw it on another person. But who is going to suffer? Your fingers will be burnt. So avoid anger as much as possible. तुम्हारी शान घट जाती या रुतबा घट गया होता, जो गुस्से से कहा तुमने वही हंस के कहा होता. So how you speak is very important, and what you speak is very important. So both the things are very important. And when you are angry, your words are out of control and your behavior is out of control, and situation becomes very bad. So tone is important and words are important. Keep your tone friendly and soothing. Even if you disagree with somebody, still be friendly. Do not indulge in arguments. Discussion should be positive and it should create good relationship. So these are the things you should keep in your mind. This is all what I want to say, and if you want to ask something, please let me know.
Do you want me to put the video which is related to this?
You may play it if you like. Yes.
I'll just play that. It's a 6 minutes video. Just bear with me.
Positive discussions are important in life. Positive interactions help in learning new things and creating healthy relationships. It is win-win for both the parties involved. Arguments, on the other hand, create various problems, spoil healthy relationships during arguments. During arguments, the persons stick to their own points of view. During the arguments, persons involved try to stick to their own points of view, whether they are correct or incorrect. Their purpose is to win the arguments at any cost. Argument never helps. It creates acrimony and resentment for both the parties involved. If you lose an argument, you will feel bad. And if you win the argument, you will make other person feel bad. If you force your opinion on others, they become more adamant and unfriendly. The purpose of discussion should be to listen, to understand, and to find the facts. Both the parties should try to help each other in finding the facts. Opinions may be different, but facts are same. During discussion, the purpose should be to find out the facts. Arguments should be settled in an amicable manner. Try to reach the agreement on common points. If you somehow do not agree on some common points, you can agree to differ and the discussion can be continued later on. We should therefore stick to positive discussions and avoid arguments at all costs. Argument never helps. We should avoid arguments as much as possible. Now the question is how to avoid arguments. This is how we can do it. Please continue watching. Imagine yourself in his feet. Find out his point of view and respect his opinion. You can say, I understand how you feel. In such a situation, I would also be doing the same thing what you are doing. ऐसी सिचुएशन में शायद मैं भी वही करता जो आप कर रहे हैं. Find out the facts. Purpose should be to amicably discuss and find out the facts. हो सकता है कि आप सही हो. चलो गूगल पे पता करते हैं, किसी और से मालूम करते हैं. इस तरह से हम लोग बोल सकते हैं एक दूसरे से. Another way to avoid arguments is we should try to find the common points. There should be a few common points Try to find out those points and you should agree on that, and the argument will not continue. One way to avoid argument is to agree to differ. If there are points on which you disagree, put them on the back burner and you may take them up later on in subsequent discussions. You can say, I agree with most of your points, but I agree to differ on some points. Let's agree to differ. We will discuss further after collecting more facts. For the time being, let us agree to differ. Being in the present moment is another way to avoid arguments. Discuss in the present continuous. Be present in the moment. Think about the present moment. Avoid discussions about past and future. Don't say, you always do say, you say so always, you behave in this manner always, आप सदा ऐसा करते हैं. इसकी जगह आप यूज़ करिए ing वर्ड्स. देखिए कि वो एक्चुअली इस वक्त कर रहे हैं ऐसा कि नहीं. इस तरह से अगर हम सोचेंगे तो आर्गुमेंट्स अवॉइड कर सकते हैं. डोंट से हाउ ही यूज्ड टू बिहेव. सी एग्जैक्टली हाउ ही इज बिहेविंग नाउ इन दिस मोमेंट. So ing words are very important in this respect. Another way to avoid arguments is to ask intelligent questions. Do not point out mistakes. Do not speak all the time. Listen and let him speak. Ask questions to give him an opportunity to speak. Another way to avoid arguments is to listen more and speak less. Let him speak most of the time. When you speak, you repeat what you already know. And when you listen, you learn so many things which you do not know. Another way to avoid argument is to consult people, consult Google, try to find out the facts, try to learn continuously by discussing with each other, and you will learn from different sources. Here is a wonderful suggestion for discussing in a positive manner and avoiding arguments. A filter I have here is talk concisely, effectively, forcefully, and boldly. And what we speak, it should be true, it should be necessary, and it should be useful for either for you or for the other person. And always engage your brain before opening your mouth. If you follow this practice, you will avoid arguments. Good relationship is important. Instead of trying to win the arguments, you should try to win wonderful relationship. Win the hearts of the persons, of the nears and dears. Good relations, kindness, respect, courtesy, love are more fulfilling and important than winning arguments. So the purpose should be to win the relationship, not the arguments. Another way to avoid argument is to control your anger. Anger creates problems and spoils relationship. Do not trigger your and his anger during arguments. Do not let anger start. Nip it in the bud if it starts. Try to resolve your anger as soon as possible and keep in mind that a relationship is more important than winning the argument. For the same reason, tone is also very important. Watch your tone. It should be amicable. Keep your tone friendly and soothing. Even if you disagree, the discussion should be continued in amicable manner. Thank you for watching this and my other videos. Please press bell icon so that you do not miss my subsequent videos. If you want to ask something, please let me know in the comment section below.
Okay, so we come
Great,
to the end
sir.
of the
Thank you
session.
so much.
Dr. Anila, you can take over for the Q&A, and you can let them know about the upcoming workshop.
Thank you. That was a lovely session. So many of those things we know, but somehow they get frozen or they get put away. But today you brought to the forefront such beautiful practical tips. Thank you so much, Mr. Qamruddin. Thank you so much. I open the session now for questions. Anybody who has questions, feel free to ask them now. You can go ahead and unmute yourselves if you want to ask a question. Or to give an insight that maybe would be of value to everybody else. Please feel free to add.
One thing probably I would like to add here. I'm sorry, Mona, so you can speak after me. Like, I have observed my dad right from my childhood. So the abbreviations which he has mentioned, it's not that he has just mentioned or he has just mentioned in the books. I have seen him following right from my childhood. Wherever I go in the house, I'll see those cutouts of these abbreviations. Whether I go to the toilet or whether I go to brush my teeth or whether I go to comb my hair, I would see these abbreviations everywhere, these affirmations everywhere. So it becomes so easy for me. So right from the childhood, I have been groomed to think positive, thanks to my dad. uh, these affirmations have always helped me out, though he pasted it for himself. But some subconsciously or consciously, I kept following it right from my childhood, and can see those changes. I can see those changes in my speech as well as in my behavior. uh, these are very much there. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Please go ahead, Mona.
First of all, I just want to thank you, sir, for bringing all these pointers. Generally, when we talk and we also don't know that discussion when it's moving towards a argument, right? So, just the same question: how do we analyze that this is going to move as an argument, and how we can stop ourselves that no, this is going in a wrong direction? Because couple of time I myself feel like some discussion which is moving towards the argument and it was taking in a wrong wrong shape. So how do we put ourselves like, okay, this is the end line and we have to stop here and bring it back into the correct path?
Generally, what happens when we start discussing about anything, we have certain beliefs about something. So we try to emphasize those things. We try to win the arguments. We forget that the relationship is more important than winning the arguments. On in discussion, we forget that we have to find the facts. If we emphasize our attention on finding the facts, then argument will never take place, because our purpose and the other person's purpose will be finding out the facts, and we should try to help each other to find out the facts. And if we are emphasizing the facts, then there is no question of argument creates difference. There is difference. It shows that there is difference. But when we discuss, we are trying for same thing. We both want to reach the facts. So purpose is to find out the facts. So where is the need for argument? So the main thing is that another thing you should keep in mind, that relationship is very important. We temporarily be happy that we have won the argument, but in the long run we will lose the relation. So we should try to find the facts. We should try to avoid arguments as much as possible. Nobody ever wins arguments. It is lose-lose for both the persons involved. I hope it satisfies.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You're muted, Shaz.
Sorry. One thing I would like to add here is you can start observing your feelings. Okay. And so there are only two things you would like to observe. One is the good feeling, other one is not so good feeling. So whenever you are having a conversation with someone, or it could be a discussion, or it could be an argument, if you start observing your feeling, if you're feeling good about that discussion, go ahead. If you are not feeling good, it could be neutral as well, but if you're not feeling good, that means the discussion is not leading to something positive. So it's a good idea to stop that conversation.
May I add something?
Please.
Please.
We are all told that one of the great skills of the 21st century is communication. And the ones who learn how to communicate effectively, and as Sir has given us such beautiful, the whole abbreviation, I think it's in a nutshell. We should all probably put it up. But this communication thing is so important, because having mutually beneficial discussions, even in arguments, which we are going to fall into, but learning to steer away from those for the greater good of both parties involved is the way forward. And learning this is a skill. So we often say, "Are kya, what am I going to learn here?" But these are the skills that we really ought to pick up and really hone and polish them up, because this is the way forward, not only in personal relationships, but relationships at work and with everybody we interact with. So I think this is a very valuable session. Thank you so much. Sushma, please go ahead and ask your question.
Sir, that abbreviation which you wrote, if you could, later on shares as usual, it'd be grateful if you could give the full form, because I think that gives the crux of the whole thing.
Thank
And
you very much.
it is, if you could
It is
give that to
taught
us.
concisely, effectively, forcefully, and boldly, and make sure it is true, necessary, and useful. Always engage your brain before opening your mouth. So I will explain it in detail in the comments.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I have put up on the slide. You can note it down if you want to.
No, but
The recording will be shared.
explanation is not there, so I will write it in the.
Yeah, the explanation is not there.
Yeah, so
I know it. Yes, the
So
thing
we'll
is.
share the video of this
Yeah,
session.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a very, very interesting. I like these short forms. Yeah, I can imagine how shares grew up seeing them all around.
Thank you very much.
Abhinav, please unmute yourself. I can see you're trying to say something.
No, I was just talking to my father.
Okay.
But yes, I do want to share a couple of things. First of all, Mr. Qamruddin,
Yes.
यही आपका नाम है ना? Qamruddin?
Yes, sir.
It is so good just to see you today. I saw you for the first time,
Thank you very much.
and I love the fact that you are all dressed up for this session.
Thank you.
And that tells me a
One must-
lot about your work ethic. It's in fact a learning for me.
Okay,
So
thank you.
thank you very much. और आपका उर्दू का तलफ़ुज़ ख़ास तौर से
Thank you.
सुनने को मिला, जो आजकल बहुत रेयर हो गया है, तो ये सुन के बड़ा मजा आता है, क्योंकि मेरा भी रुझान उस तरफ है.
Thank you. That's good.
I just want to share a couple of things that were totally new for me,
Okay.
and I picked up from this session. One is that I need to speak in present continuous. rather than, referring to the past all the time
Yes.
in my general conversations as
Yes.
well. मुझे उस I realize that by talking about, उस भाषा में अगर मैं बात करता हूँ कि यार आप तो ऐसे ही करते हैं या आपका तो नेचर ही ऐसा है या जो भी है, तो I am already having a perception about the person and I am not looking at what he is right now, you know, in this moment. In this moment, the person is pure, you know,
Yes.
कि कपट नहीं है उसके अंदर,
Correct.
पर वो पास्ट को मैं उस तरह से अपनी भाषा में लाके भी I am already creating an opinion about that person. So that is the biggest learning for me today. The
Okay.
second is relationship is more important than the argument.
Thank you.
So I need to focus on the relationship. And the third is, this is really powerful, what I found. What is correct rather than who is correct is what I need to focus on. So thank you very much. Uh, it
Thank
was
you.
it was indeed wonderful, this session. Thank you very much.
Trisha, please go ahead. Thank you, Abhinav. That was really wonderful for you to have put it all into a few points. Thank you so much. And don't run away. I need you to talk again.
Sure.
Trisha, please
Yes,
go ahead.
yeah, namaste everyone.
Namaste.
Though I could not attend whole session because I just joined a little bit late, but whatever I listen, it's really amazing. So I would be grateful if I can have the recording of this video.
Shaz will do it. Yes.
Sure.
You will
Sure, it
definitely
will be
get it.
posted. In fact, a couple of more recordings are pending for last two sessions. So apologies for the delay. I had been traveling for
And
last 10 days. But
Saji, one
I'll,
more, I want to tell you that you had asked me to conduct the session here, sound healing.
Mhm.
So maybe next week I will be available or whatever.
Okay, so next week we have this mega session of 1 year's anniversary. So that is already planned out, and
Okay,
after that, we would be delighted to know about
no
sound
problem.
healing from you,
No problem.
so you can plan it out. Thank you, Trusha.
Are there any more questions or any more sharing? Please feel free. We still have time.
Good evening, sir. Just I'm very grateful to hear all the things. Sir, Mr. Saj, you're a very lucky person. And then sir
Thank
explained
you.
so beautifully, just reminding me all the things. It's a to keep a good relationship. Thank you so much, sir.
She's an inspiration to me. Thank you.
All right. It looks like there's no more questions. So, Shaz, would you like to take over now or should I? As you wish.
You do it the best.
Thank you, Shaz, but I think you do a great job too. Right. So before everybody runs away, may I please ask you all to turn on your cameras because it's really boring looking at blank screens, okay? I don't like it at all. So come on, can I see you all beautiful people? You come here week after week and you make us so happy and joyful. Can I please ask you all to show us your lovely faces? That's nice. That's nice. Some more, please, if possible. And it doesn't matter if you're in your pajamas. It's okay. I always say that. All right, great. Thank you so much. Thank you. The reason I want to hold you back is this, that we are planning a law of attraction workshop. It's going to be conducted on the first weekend in September, over 2 days. Everything is online. You can sit at home in your pajamas and learn the law of attraction. Learn that you are a powerful, powerful creator, creating your own life experience moment to moment to moment. This workshop is conducted over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, 4 hours each day, of course, with breaks in between. But I promise you that at the end of these 8 hours, you will be thorough with the law of attraction and how you can design and live the life of your choice. Now, earlier I had asked Abhinav to stay back. Abhinav, if I may please ask you, in a few words, because you have shared such a beautiful thing this week, if you can just share how this workshop has helped you in your life, please.
It's I don't know where to start and how to go about this, but it is about creating what I desire. Law of attraction is everything about the life that I desire and how I can be how I can be my own Michelangelo, how I can create my own life, be it anything, the materialistic goals or my thought process itself, or the difference that I want to make, anything that drives me basically. And I have now started seeing so many manifestations of law of attraction, the things that I wanted to do and I have achieved. It's all because of LOA, because of law of attraction. And more importantly, earlier I was just aware of this concept of law of attraction, but a couple of workshops that I did with Rapid Mile helped me put the method to the madness. So it's all out there. Anyone can go and get it for themselves. But how to go about doing it and how one can align himself or herself with the ways of the universe is what Rapid Mile helped me understand and put into practice and eventually achieve. So yes, I mean, for those who are new to this, you should definitely do this. And for those who are even aware but not sure how it works, even those people should definitely learn about it. So yeah, thank you very much, the Rapid Mile team.
Thank you, Abhinav. Thank you so much. Um, I'm sorry I caught you off guard, but I think sometimes off guard is the best because then for
Yes,
dil se nikalti hai wo awaaz,
indeed.
isn't it? है ना? So thank you so much, Abhinav. I encourage you all to set aside some time. Save the date. It's the first weekend of September. Please join us. You're going to learn a lot, and it's lots of fun too. And at the end, now I'd just like to say thank you so much for being here. We will draw the session to a close, but the link has been shared with you. It will be shared again and again over the next few days. So please go ahead, register, bring your family, bring your friends, and learn. And please remember, next week is our 1 year birthday bash. So please do come. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Let's give ourselves and especially Mr. Qamruddin a big round of applause. If you would please unmute yourselves. Thank you all. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you for the lovely session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Hope you're good. Okay. Thanks, Ravi.
Thank you, Ravi.